Hi, Hi, how are you guys? Again, this is the Neil Haley Show. We're back to the Neil Haley Show, and I'm excited to welcome the program two-time NBA champion, 10-time NBA All-Star Ray Allen with his wife, Shannon Allen. Guys, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I mean, your life, again, had such major accomplishments, Ray, but in 2008, during the NBA Finals, your son was diagnosed with diabetes, and that really must have been such a really traumatic thing for you, especially, how fit you guys are. And, and you just might have not known much about it. And then finding out when he's 17 months old. So that was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, and one thing that we've learned and we continue to learn to this day, like you don't have, we don't have a fixed mindset where nothing new is going to come our way and we're not going to learn something different as the day turns. And at that moment, even as adults with children, whatever was going to happen to us in our lives, like we had to take it from one day to the next. And that was certainly an example of that. It wasn't just because we were playing in the NBA finals and we were picked to win or picked to lose, whatever the situation was going to be, there was a new situation that was always going to kind of come each given day. And so that's what it was when Walker was diagnosed with diabetes. Like it was a new situation for us to have to figure out. We didn't say, why did this happen to us? We just figured out what we have to do now to try to make sure we keep this young man alive. And from that day till today, that's kind of been our mantra. Like we figure out how to keep, this young man and all his brothers and sisters alive, and then help other families, regardless of what they're dealing with, how to advocate for their children and fight for them so they can keep them alive.
Yeah.
And Shannon, how did you respond when you first heard the diagnosis?
I mean, listen, this was the moment that changed my life forever. I'm sure anybody that's listening or watching that has a child or a loved one with a serious medical condition, an autoimmune condition, you, like Ray said, you're going down one path, and we're in LA to support Ray for the NBA finals. And then all of a sudden we find ourselves in a hospital room demanding for a blood test. And you get this information that your blood sugar is supposed to be between 70 and 120, and your 17-month-old son's blood sugar is 639, and his blood sugar is poisoning him to death. I mean,
oh my God.
What do you do with that information? It was very intense. I definitely was in a lot of prayer, and then I became a student. I became a student of diabetes. I mean, it was there was a very high learning curve. We were mixing insulin. We were doing 8 to 10 finger pricks a day. We were administering insulin injections with shots, and it was a lot, and it hasn't changed that much, to be honest with you. Diabetes doesn't take a day off for your birthday or for SAT tests. It really doesn't. But, this teaming up with Abbott has been really special for our family, and having access to a device like the Freestyle Libre 2 has really given Walker a level of independence and confidence that has been a game changer for him.
And how's that been a game changer? Explain, Ray, how that has for Walker.
Well, I always show people like Walker, when he gets in and out of pools, his fingers are wrinkled and they're like really white, and then you can see all the holes in his fingers. So he's constantly, like, we sneak into his bedroom in the middle of the night, and you have to pull his arm out of his sheets, and we got to check his finger just to make sure that he isn't either too high or too low. So now with the Freestyle Libre 2, you could just wave the wand over his sensor, and it tells you that number, and you don't have to disrupt him at all. And because one of the things that's the most difficult, Walker, is he doesn't sleep as well as we don't sleep comfortably through the night. He doesn't sleep. So so we're always waking him up. So we're breaking his REM sleep. So we need Walker to sleep more because he's at his most important growing periods of his life. And so Freestyle Libre 2 is allowing us to keep him sleep longer, so we can just wave that wand over him and get his number and not have to disturb him if we don't have to from a high or a low. So just from that aspect of his life, it's going to, pay dividends for him long term.
Mm-hmm.
And that technology to be able to get that extra rest, how important is that, especially with diabetes, Shannon?
For all of us,
yeah.
You think about all of us.
Oh yeah, I know
how cranky you are. Yeah,
exactly.
When you don't sleep, like You wake up in the morning and then, you know, it's not even, you can't even function. And then at some point you're trying to find that sleep again somewhere at some point. So you take shortcuts throughout your day. You know, I need to get to a nap. I need to pull over. I need to do something. So you fight tooth and nail every way you can to try to get to your 8 hours of sleep and make sure that you're able to be productive. And just imagine, you know, Walker at 17 months to now 14 years old, like, if we're not putting him in a position to utilize rest as much as he can to repair his body and to heal and go out to the world and be great, then, you know, we're putting him at a disadvantage.
Right, because he won't be able to grow. You know, you when you grow, you sleep, you grow. And we want him to reach his full genetic potential. I mean, I'm only 5'2", right? But we don't want him to stop where I am. We want him to get to 6'5" or 6'5.5" over here. And so we want him to get that critical rest. And to really make sure that, you know, this vessel that he's been given, this body, does everything that it's supposed to do. So it really has empowered him to take more responsibility for his own diabetes care. And it's given us that peace of mind in knowing that he's able to really get to that genetic potential that he deserves to reach. So it's
you also talked
about, we're really excited about it.
That's great. Ray, you also talked about bringing awareness towards diabetes. That's a mission of yours, isn't it, Ray? You and your wife. Is that correct?
Yeah. I learned a long time ago, like when people are going through things, some people kind of cordon off, you know, that trauma, that adversity, and they don't talk about it because they think it's a private issue. And I've been around people who, when they go through things, they bring people in because they want to teach and they want to show people, you know, kind of how to proceed forward. And I have so many different examples over the course of my career. And so when we went through this, when Walker was diagnosed, we knew we wanted to bring people in because we wanted to educate people on what to face, what to deal with, what to expect. Because we didn't want, you know, the decisions we made saved Walker's life, and we want to make sure nobody else lost a child because of this. So what we did was we printed out little trading cards talking about diabetes and the warning signs. And I think it was the next couple of games, over the course of the season, we would hand them out at games so people at least could see that and understand it. And figure, you know, if one parent sees it and just makes a better choice, this education, that awareness at least gives you another something that you can go to as a parent to ask a doctor a question, and it can save your child's life.
And Shannon, I guess you've learned a lot from others, right? About other families are going through the same thing you're going through, right? Through this support network once you learned about it, didn't you? And especially bringing that awareness, right, Shannon?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, so often when you hear that people are experiencing something, whether it's for a child or a loved one or a parent, you know, it gives you this sense that I'm not alone in this. And when you share and you give people a peek into your own life, it's like growth mindset. Like Ray said, like sometimes people have challenges and it's just like breaks you completely. And then there are those people in life that go through really hard stuff and they're able to share it and rely on the strength of the community. And they somehow, you know, like a rose growing through concrete, they come out on the other side of it better and stronger and smarter. And I would like to think that certainly Ray and I don't have all the answers, but there are some amazing people that do, like Abbott and and some others in the scientific world, and we can rely on them. You know, visit freestylelibre2.us. Get a free sample of the Libre 2, try it, and be empowered. Be empowered with your diabetes and for your loved ones. So it's that sharing is so crucially important, I think.
Any other projects you got going on right now, Ray, that you want to talk about that you've been for your fans? What's going on?
Well, I've been coaching my son's AAU team, 16 and under. So we've been doing that, you know, weekly, playing in tournaments on the weekend, and that's keeping me super busy.
That's great.
Shannon and I, we own a restaurant called Grown. It's an organic fast food restaurant. So that certainly keeps our plate full. And we're opening a new restaurant on Miami Beach here the next couple of weeks. So, you know, it certainly keeps the family busy, and the kids, you know, going back to when we were in Boston, we certainly know that we're always trying to figure out how to eat better and cleaner. And so we're trying to put that good stuff out there to give people better choices.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, guys. Everyone needs to check out the restaurant as well. Appreciate you guys both stopping by, and we'll be in touch, Shannon, for sure, and Ray about some other projects.
Okay.
All right. Sound good? All right. Take care, guys.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
guys.
right.
Take care.
That was the Neil Haley Show. Take care, guys.